There is one binary option strategy that I've been using for a long time with Pocket Option, and it has made me over like $100,000 consistently trading with this strategy. So in this specific video, I'm here to show you how the strategy works. Hey everyone, this is Christian here on YouTube, and welcome to this tutorial video. I'm going to teach you step by step how to use the best pocket option strategy in my opinion for 2022. So welcome to this tutorial. Let's dive right into it. Now, the first thing that you got to understand is what is Pocket Option indeed. Pocket Option is a broker that you can use to trade binary options worldwide. For those of you who are not familiar with what is binary options and so on, I do recommend you to take my free training at blwtradingacademy.com. It's 100% free. It was worth over $300 before, but now it's free. Where you can join and learn what are binary options. But basically, Pocket Option is a binary options broker that you can use worldwide. I'm actually looking at it right now during the weekend. So that's the reason why you can see like all these weird pairs on OTC and so on. But the broker itself offers you a free demo account so you can use it. I'm going to put the link to it in the description of this video so you can join, practice as much as you can, as much as you want to. But that basically is what Pocket Option is. Now let's go ahead and dive right into the settings of the strategy because I'm super excited to show you this. I've got a bunch of videos in regards to this strategy, but the majority of them are actually, self-explained but very briefly, so I decided to take a little bit more of usual in order to teach you the strategy from scratch. So this video is going to be like 10 15 20 minutes long, but it's actually going to be completely worth it. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Here, this is how you're going to actually look at the broker whenever you just join. This is what the broker is going to look like. So the first thing that you got to do is actually go into, and hold on. So at the moment that you actually joined, instead of looking at candlesticks, you're actually going to see it this area. So the first thing that you got to do is actually click right here and go to candles. All right. Second thing that you got to do is actually choose the candlestick time frame. These are candlesticks. These right here, the green ones and the red ones. So the first thing that you got to do is actually go and select S30, which actually stands for 30-second candlesticks. When it comes to 30-second candlesticks, it basically means that every of these candlesticks are actually going to have a lifetime of 30 seconds. Super important that at the time that you actually choose the 30 seconds, you click on right here where it says enable timer. That way you're actually going to see how long will that candlestick actually has in order for them to expire. For instance, 17, 16, 15 seconds right here. This is what the time actually has left over in that candlestick to expire. At the time that it gets to 0, a new candlestick is actually going to start forming. So for instance, right now, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then boom, a new candlestick starts to form. Okay, so it's actually super important that you do that in order to know when the candlestick is going to expire. So this is it, candles, S30 and enable timer. Then you guys are good to go. Now it's actually time for me to actually join and or to add the indicators. So in order to do that, there's this icon right here is for the indicator section. So you click on it and you can see all of the indicators that Pocket Option offers you in order to do technical analysis in your charts. So you're only gonna need 2 of them. One is the RSI, which is right here. If you're using a different broker, well, you shouldn't, because this is the best pocket option strategy. But if you are, it could appear as relative strength index, but here appears as RSI. You just do one click and it's going to be added automatically into the chart. And the second indicator is actually this one right here called stochastic oscillator. So you're going to click on it as well, and that it. You don't need any other indicator. So the first thing that you're going to do is actually make sure that the settings in these indicators are actually correctly. So the first thing that you got to do is actually click on the pencil right here on the RSI. That's basically the edit button. Then the periods has to be on 14 and the styles have to be like these ones right here. So the first thing that I do is actually I uncheck the 51 because we're never going to use it. And the levels of the RSI should be 70 and 30 like you see right here. Now you can actually add some thickness if you want to into it, but that's pretty much really up to you if you actually want to do that. There you go. So it looks kind of better, you know, it's just a style. So then you'll hit on the save button. So what happens is that if by any chance in the style section you actually have this on 80 level, you're gonna realize that that line is actually gonna move up. So therefore it basically it's gonna be different for a different strategy. So make sure it's just 70 and 30 and click on the save button. Now on the next one, on the stochastic oscillator, you're gonna click on it, and this is super important. The percentage period has to be 14 on the K period 14, D period on 3, and smoothie period on 3. Okay, super important. The moving average should be SMA. You don't change that at all. And the K period, the blue line, this one right here, you can actually add the thickness as well if you want to make it look a little bit better to 2 pixels. But then this is the most important thing. The levels have to be 80 and 20. 80 and 20. You can actually move the thicknesses in this one as well if you want to. It looks better on your screen, and then hit on the save button. Now there's a little arrow right here that I like to click on in order to expand and look at better the indicators, but it's just it's just what I do. Now, super important. How is it that this strategy works? The strategy is actually going to be looking for overbought or oversold conditions. An overbought condition basically means that the price of an asset is actually going really hard, going up. That's overbought. Okay, the price is over where it should be. So therefore, the price is gonna drop eventually, or is gonna have a retraction going down. And the oversold is the complete opposite. The price is it's pushing really hard going down, and it's likely that the price is gonna start jumping. So that being said, what we're looking at with this strategy is actually those small retractions. We don't go with the trend, we don't go with the overpriced or oversold, we look for the retraction. So how do you identify an overbought condition on RSI? Is whenever the price or the moving average is really close or touching the level of 70. And at the same time, it has to be overbought on stochastic oscillator, and that's when the price is over, not touching, but over the price of or the level of 80 right here. I'm sorry, right here. As you can see, both of them are completely overbought. So when that happens, you enter a put position for 1 minute, which is this candle right here, and boom, you win the position. Okay. The same thing happens, but with an oversold condition, which could be this example right here. It touched the 30 level, and it's completely oversold on the 20 level as well. So when that happens, you enter call position, and there's this one right here, and boom, for 1 minute position, and you win the trade. Okay, that's basically the way it works. Strategy is incredibly simple. Now, I want to show you some live trades in order for you to understand exactly how these strategies actually work. So in order to do that, let me go ahead and show you some clips that I pre-recorded when I was sending my own signals in the BLW Binary Master app, which is my own website. I'm going to put the link to it in the description of this video. All right, so here's a good example. As you can see, the RSI on the level of 30 is actually right here. The price is kind of dropping, and the price on the stochastic is completely oversold. So there are some occasions whenever I'm going to enter at the time of the RSI not touching the level of 30. There is a reason why to it, but there's a whole 1 hour webinar that I would like to invite you, if in case you guys want to learn the strategy on a deeper level. There is a link to it in the description of this video. It's a 1 hour webinar where I teach you this strategy with all the entry points, what to avoid, extra tips, and so on. So I'm just teaching you like the general idea in this video, but if you want to go deeper into it, I'm going to put the link to it in the description of this video. So here I actually enter before the RSI touching the level, and it's completely oversold over there on stochastic, as you can see right here and right here. So I enter for 1 minute positions, and as you can see, the prices started to jump. Even though this was a complete downtrend, I was able to actually enter these positions and win them. As you can see, I won the first and I won the second one right now. Super important that you understand that these are not live trades that I'm placing right now. It's just clips that I recorded when I was actually sending signals again in my BLW Binary Master App trading room. This is super important that you understand it. Why? Because I actually have this signals group, which you can join. It's not 100% free or anything like that, but you can check it out, blwbinarymasterout.com. The link's in the description of this video. So now let's go ahead and talk about the best entry point for these signals. Obviously, the best entry point for these signals or for these trades is going to be at the time that the RSI is actually touching. There are going to be moments like this is going on. So if you actually enter at the moment that it touched and it continues to go up, don't enter that trade. Don't enter more trades. Why? Because it's completely overbought. But the best moment to actually enter is when the price is overbought. But in addition, there's a crossover on stochastic. Let me just go ahead and look for a more stable pair. Hold on. Let me look for one of the ones that I actually use. For instance, this right here is actually happening, even though the RSI is not completely touching, but there's going to be a crossover on stochastic. Okay, two of the criteria are actually being met, which is the RSI and the stochastic oversold. But there's 1/3 criteria that you actually need to have met in order for you to enter a position, and that's basically when there's a crossover on the lines of the stochastic oscillator. The blue line has to be crossing the red line. For instance, right here, take a look at it. Boom and boom. But what's the best moment to actually enter? There's a crossover right here. And at that specific crossover, which is happening right here, this is the moment that you're supposed to enter on the trade. And then you have more chances to actually win. Now, this is going to reduce the entry points on your specific position or in your specific asset or prediction. Why? Because it doesn't always match at the moment that it's actually touching the RSI and crossing with the stochastic oscillator. But if you're able to catch it, you're going to have a lot more chances to actually make some money. So hopefully that actually as well makes sense. Now, one of the questions that I constantly get in regards to this specific strategy is what are the best times to actually trade? Now, in order to answer this, there's something that you got to keep in mind, like super important, is that don't trade with the news. If there are high volatility news going on in the market, don't go ahead and trade with the news. So what you got to do is actually wait for at least 1 hour after and 1 hour prior to the news. So if the news are at 9 a.m. in the morning, trade up until 8 a.m. in the morning or start from 10 a.m. in the morning. That's number one. Number two, I do believe that from like 13 or 12 GMT to like 11, well, that's my local time, 13 GMT or 12 GMT or like 17 GMT is like the best time to trade with this specific strategy. You got better payouts, you got better entry points and so on, and not too many violations into the actual oversold and overbought condition. You're going to realize that at those specific times, the strategy is respected from 85 to 95% of the times, while some of their schedules is respected from like 70 to like 75%. So it's a huge difference when it comes to money. It's a lot. When it comes to binary options, you probably already do that. So make sure you actually trade during those times and try to choose like the pairs with the highest payout. But that actually brings me to the next topic, which is what are the best pairs to actually trade with this strategy, and are these ones that you see right here that I have on the top. AUD CAD, USD CAD, GBP AUD, Euro JPY, Euro USD, AUD USD, Euro CAD, Euro AUD, Euro GBP, GBP CAD, and AUD JPY. Make sure you pause this video, take a screenshot of those pairs, and make sure you set them up in the actual pocket option platform. Super important. Trade with these pairs. Don't trade with any CHF pair. Don't do it. They don't respect the oversold and overbought conditions, okay? So these are the best pairs to actually trade with this specific strategies. Hey, hopefully you enjoyed the content of this video and this strategy helps you guys out to make some money. If you found value at any point during the video, make sure you smash the like button to support this YouTube channel. But more importantly, if you guys have any questions or comments to share, you can always use the comment section below and my team will be happy to reply to you. Thank you very much for watching this video and I'll see you on the next one.